Hi, I'm Dan Whittaker. We're going to analyse the pitching technique of one of the pros I teach utilising the TrackMan software. So today I've been joined by Mike Bedford. Mike plays on the Euro Pro Tour. As an amateur, he got to +4, played for the county and was right on the edge of being in the national teams. Then he just recently turned pro. So I'm going to show you today how we use the TrackMan Performance Studio to use it to help Mike with the distances he hits his wedge. What we look for is we're looking on the swing positions that Mike likes to hit, which is 4 positions in his backswing. I'm after seeing consistency in those yardages. So Mike has 4 swing positions, so I'm just going to demonstrate some quite quickly here. So if we take it to the first position, which is going to be kind of hip high, which is right there. So hip high, we'll see that the club is just got to about his trouser pocket. Then the second height is left arm parallel to the ground here. The third is shoulder, and then the fourth is full. So what do you tend to find with your 56 on the hip high swing?
55 yards.
So get 55 yards on that hip high swing, and then we've got the second position. How far is that tending to go?
75 yards.
And then the third position?
95 yards.
And the full swing?
110.
So what we're looking for is, on the second position, I was saying 75 yards, I don't want it to ever drop below 73 or go above 77, because that's then tending to mean that we're going to really struggle to control that distance. The ball's going to be going varying flights, trajectories, and we're going to find it very, very difficult to predominantly make a good score. So we're going to get stuck in now, have a little look at it on the TrackMan. Mike's going to start hitting the positions, we'll have a look at the yardages that are going, and then we'll take a look over here on the TrackMan on the screen, see how they're bunched together, and then run Mike through a quick random test. So Mike's going to hit the first swing position right here, which is the hip high. So the thing that you need to be looking at is the way with which he blends the arm motion and the body swing to one another. Okay, everything's working back and through fully in sync. Okay, you can see he's going up, he's just checking out what the TrackMan's saying here in terms of numbers, but it's the body and the arms are matching back and through perfectly. There's nothing being hurried or rushed. The body isn't going too quickly, leaving the arms behind, or the arms aren't slowing down or driving in. Everything is perfectly matched. So he's going to hit the one now where the left arm is parallel to the ground. So this will be his 75-yard shot. So we should see here exactly the same rhythm as on the shorter one. So the key is, whether you're hitting the 3/4 position, the full position, or the first position, it's getting the arms and the body to completely match one another. So we now move up to the 3/4 one, which is the shoulder height position. Once again there, you can see that the rhythm's the same. Okay, so getting the rhythm the same is really important, because that's then going to get the body and the arms matched perfectly. So this will then deliver the club on the same angle, at the same speed, and what he'll then be able to do is get a very, very consistent smash factor, which is basically how much out the centre he's hitting it. We don't want to see a variable smash factor, where one that's going too low and one that's then going too high, because this, or even if the club head speed was the same, that would then alter how far the shot is going. So this is where the TrackMan really does come into its own. So if Mike now hits a full one, you'll notice that the rhythm with which he's hitting these at is not really that different to the short wedge. So each one has got its own kind of feel for individual player. This is, every player will have their own rhythm and technique and key swing lengths that they like to hit. This is really individual to the player. So Mike's just going to hit one more short one for us, and then we're going to run him through a test centre. So you can see there that rhythm stayed the same every single shot that he hit. So we can see here that the TrackMan was able to quantify the feel for Mike. So we can see that the first position here is hitting at 54 yards. He wants to like to hit it about 55. So it's seeing whether the feel that he actually has is correct. The next swing position is 75, so it's 76.1 and 73.9. So that's great, because only 1 yard out either side of it. The next one was the 95. We've got 3 of those. We've got 98, 96 and 93.8. So that's going to be pretty good, because it, you know, that sort of distance from the hole on the PGA Tour, they're probably looking at hitting it to about 16 feet on average. So Mike's well inside of that in terms of his distance control, and he doesn't tend to knock his wedges much offline in terms of side dispersion, because it's much harder to hit a wedge a long way offline in terms of width because of the loft on the face. And the other one there was 110, and we got 108.4 and 109.3. So you can see that when he's able to control the speed, the distance is, you know, very, very good, and his feels are correct. So we use the TrackMan to be able to see that the feels that Mike's actually getting are the right ones for his game. Okay, so we're now going to have a look at the TrackMan test center right here. This is a random wedge test that I always run with Mike. So this is really good. It gives us yardage between 50 yards and 100 yards, random numbers. And what I like to do is then see how good Mike's feel is. Based off those positions, he's obviously got his 3 wedges out right here. So he's got 12 yardages with those clubs. So now I'm going to see how he gets on within that test. So the first number we've got here is 85 yards. So what club and swing length's that for you, Mike?
That's my 60 degree at shoulder height.
Okay, so Mike's going to hit that shot now, and we'll see how he gets on. So that's gone 2.5 yards long, so 91 points scored, so it's very good. That was kind of like +5 handicap. So the next shot up is 82 yards, so it's probably going to be the same club, just a very slightly softer swing. Now we're working really on those very small details of feel. So that's been 83.7 yards, that's 94 points scored, so that's very, very good. Next one is a 52 yards, so what club and shot's that one going to be, Mike?
56 and at the ball.
Okay. A little bit long there on that one, probably just got a little bit aggressive with it. So Mike's tendency with the short one is sometimes that he'll tend to lean that upper body forwards, deal off the club a little bit, which then sends the ball going a little bit further than he wants to. So what we're looking for is that the chest is moving through with the club, and that's going to then monitor the pace and also the loft. If the chest goes forwards and leans a little, deal off the club, and that's what's then going to make that ball go a little bit too far. Now back at 87 yards, this was a good number last time. So 84.8, very good. Getting lucky here, we've got an 83 again. It's been nice to you here, Mike. Very, very good. 95 points scored, so it was 84.4. Now we're on a 50-yarder. So is that position 1 with
56?
With 56. So that was good, like a good contact, not as aggressive off the face, it sounded softer than last time. So what we'd see is, looking at this already, Mike's very, very good and very comfortable in that 80-yard range. We can see on that short one where he's hitting these a little bit too long, he's hitting them at around the 60-yard mark. So this is something that he will then be able to then take away and go and work at correctly, knowing that that's his problem yardage at the moment. So I'm 53 now. So that was much better control, it went 55.9. So the key is it's just not snapping that lower body too early, which then lets that upper body get out of position. So it's 57 now, so this should be a nice number. You can see that one was a good number, it went 56.8, so that was very, very good. Slightly left of target, you know, it's 6.9 feet from the flag, 56 yards now. So you can see again, just wants to just jump a little bit longer. So it went 62.3. That's 156. See there, that was 54.4. So this will now give us the option then to create a report, and what we then do is we create the report. So we can see here on the TrackMan test, we can see that Mike scored 73.8, so that's down a fair bit on what I would expect him to be getting, but we can see a few of the shots there were also going to the left, so that might have been alignment, but in my opinion it's probably that he's leaning on them a little bit, therefore closing them down just a touch. We see here at the score that when he had the targets and if the 80-yard shots, he scored 91 and 94. That was very, very impressive. Then he scored 90 at the 87-yarder, 95 at the 83-yard one, and once again he scored 89 for a 57-yard shot and 84 for the 56. But what we did see is we saw really poor scores in there for someone of Mike's standard of 59, 32 and 27, and they were all at the 50 to 55 yard shot. Now they're normally his favourite yardage, but what I think is happening is he's first time he's been in front of a camera, hitting balls and what have you, and I think there's been a little bit of adrenaline, so he's just moving through a little bit quicker than he normally would do, so therefore he's not quite coming through with the same speed. Because you see the smash factor here has been fairly consistent on all of them for what he wants. He's just over the 1.10, a couple here are 1.08 sort of thing, but he's very, very consistent in that, but his speed was quite variable on that short shot for him, and I think that's why he was struggling to control that, because it was a lot quicker than normal and he was intending to lean on it. The great thing about this test report, it means that then he knows that he's got to go and work at that 55-yarder, and it also gives him some feedback that when he's next in a tournament, he feels that adrenaline going, try and control the pace like he had to do when in front of the camera in here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be putting the full test video of Mike up separate to this one, so watch out for that. We've got more exciting content coming with other players who I teach. And so please, if you've enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel. I've got all my social media links below. If you want to contact me, all my details are on my website, which is danwhitakergolf.com. Thanks for watching. I look forward to talking to you again soon.